Hello guys, how are you? I hope everybody is fine and welcome in this new video. I will try to be quick on this one because this board in fact is from a nearby shop and it has a 3.3 volt rail shorted to ground here. They already have done the basics. They have removed the coil to see which side is short and it was the output. They have cleaned some jumpers, some 3 volt jumpers like this one. Here we have, these are 3 volt jumpers. This one, this one, this one here, this one here near the controller, and the other one here. So they have cleaned those jumpers to see if they can locate the short, but that doesn't help. And the value and the problem of with this board is that the injection is for no help, as the board drops only 0.2 ohms. So, and if we check here, let's check the resistance of that rail. Just set the meter. Let's connect it to the AC that you can see with me. Measurement. So it's okay. Now we can measure. So this rail has, let me use this ground here. Four point 53 4 ohms, which is very low on this rail. It's a 3.3 volt rail. 5 volt is okay. This is a RAM rail and it's okay. This value is okay for this rail, as we have RAM. Let's remove the RAM. Now we have, as you can see now, the value has changed a little bit, and that's fine for a RAM rail. And for the other rails, let us check them. This one should be the PCH rail, and it's okay. This one is for the processor. This one also, and this one so has to do with the processor, and this one is the 1.8 rail, and it's okay. This one also over here is okay. I think it's okay, this one. Let me check. I have a template of the same board, which this template is for, let me show you. This is for a working board, this one, and now we were checking this one. This one should be in ohms mode, 80 ohms. 80 ohms, and we have here we have 6970. So as there may be some differences from board to board, even if they are the same boards, so this value should be okay. The other rail here, this one, 0.6 kilo ohms. So as you can see, all blue rails seem to be fine and okay, except the 3.3 volt. And as I said, the injection didn't help with the guys on the nearby shop, which brings this board to me, and they just want to rule out the PCH. So if the injection doesn't help, how can we confirm if it's not a PCH issue or not? Anyway, we have to remove the coil and to check again if it's the input or the output. They said that it's the output which is short to ground, so we have to trust them. But anyway, I need to remove this coil because I am going to use injection. Even if anything get hot, I will show you how we can confirm if it's PCH fault or not. So let's quickly remove the coil. I don't need to put extra flux, as there's already flux here on this board. They didn't have cleaned this board. Still some flux on it. Here and here near the jumper that was cleaned. Yes, and there's some flux here. I don't know if they have done something here. Maybe they have done something here. No. Anyway, for now we have the 3.3 volt shorted to ground. Let's just check if it's the output or the input, just to confirm. Yes, they may have done a mistake, who knows. Yes, they may have done a mistake, as I have noticed that they have flashed the, I don't know if they have done that or someone else. Anyway, the BIOS chip has already been removed, and if it was flashed because of this issue, then it's a big mistake. We have a short on the board. We don't need to program the BIOS chip. We have to deal with the short first. Then, if it's necessary, we can flash the BIOS. Let's wait for the board to cool down. Yes, it's okay. It's okay now. Let us measure. So still we have the meter on resistance mode. Yes, it's the output. The input is good. The output 4.28. The input 2.4 mega ohm. So what can we do when inject? Normally the board should drop something when we inject voltage on this shorted rail. but the question is that will we get something hot or not? So we have to check that together. So I have here the probes that I use for injection, and I already have a wire on this red probe, so I just need to solder it to the output of 3.3 volt. Let me power the soldering iron first, and let's wait a few seconds until it's hot. Then we are going to inject. Let me just release this wire a little bit. Have to add some solder to it here, then solder to the output of 3.3 volt, and check together how much the board is dropping, and check if the PCH gets hot or warm. If not, then we are going to see how we can confirm that it's a PCH issue or not. So our iron is ready to use. Let's solder it. Let's add some soldering here. Has to be firmly soldered. Yes, fine. And we need to flip the board as the rails for the PCH and the processor are on the other side. So let's just flip like this. Pay attention to your red probe not to touch the ground as it's near. Let's just do like this. So now nothing to worry about. We have the ground. This is the ground. Let's put it somewhere here. And let's power the power supply. It's on now, but not yet in outputting anything. And we have already the power supply set to 3.3 volt on the first option. Here we have 11 volts, so let's use this one. 3.3 volt and 3 ohms. Yes, let's keep 3 ohms. We can even put on maximum ohms, and so everything's okay, nothing to worry about. We have this one on the ground. The red probe is on 3.3 volt, and the probes on the power supply are in the right place, so not swapped. Be sure that you haven't swapped the probes on the power supply. So let's power now. As you can see, it's dropping only 0.085 maximum, which means that we won't get anything hot to this at this or at this value. We won't get anything hot except the probe here. We may have, yes, it's a bit warm here, but here should be cold. Yes, yes, it's cold. It's cold. So we have to confirm if it's not PCH issue before considering other options or before further troubleshooting of this board. Otherwise, we may lose time for nothing. So what can we do? Let me just change the probes on the meter. I don't like those probes. Change them with the ones I have on the fluke. Here, here. Now these ones should do. better than the others. So what we need is to check if any of these rails here next the processor has value in terms of voltage. So let's put our meter on volts mode and let's check. Let's begin with this one on the left. Oh, we have something on this one. Here, nothing. Here, nothing. Here, nothing. And here, oh. So we have this one on the right and this one on the left have some value, which in fact shouldn't be, because all these rails needs 19 volt to be up, and needs power to press the power button or auto starting of the board, and we don't have 19 volt plugged to this board. Gain check 0.0251, 0 volt here, 0 volt here, 0 volt here. Let's check the output of this one, 0.0461. So here is the output, here is the output, the output, the output, and this one, here is the output, and we have these two rails have value. So to confirm that these voltages, these values are coming from our 3.3 volt, we simply do like this. We go to our power supply and we change the value of voltage as far as we are injecting. So let's go down and check. Yes, the value changes on the meter. Yes, and it goes to 0 when we put on 1 volt. Okay, let's go up. Oh, yes. Let's check with the other one, the other rail now, this one. Let's go down. Yes, the meter changes too. Okay, let's go down. Yes, let's go to 0. Let's do this, put on 0, and again 1 volt, 2 volt, it's up on the meter, 3 volt, it's up, and if we change to 3.3 volt, it goes to 0.0458 volt, which means that the PCH is dead. So these rails, let me, I have a template of the working board. Let me find it to check which rails are those. Okay, HP. So this board is, let me power off the power supply first. So this board is, where's that number? It's on the other side. Yes, it's here. It's a CIRCUS-6050A2723701-MB-A02. Yes, this is the number of this board. And yes, I have a template, the same board with the values which we have to expect. Yes, HP circus bottom. Here we have it. Here it is. Here it is. So we say these ones. This one on the right. Yes, on the right, if we flip the board, as we have the board flipped on the table like this. So let's flip here to make things simpler. So this one and this one. Now to read the values, we need to flip again. So this one is 1.8 volt rail, and this one, this, let's follow the line. It's 1 volt. And 1 volt and 1.8 volt are related to PCH, of course. So no doubt of that, this board is dead. Nothing to do except changing this chip, which in fact needs a lot of investment, and the board doesn't worth that investment, in fact. So we just consider this board to be ODID 1. So this is how we confirm if the PCH is shorted to any rail. It may be shorted to any rail, but usually it's shorted to 3.3 volt rail. And don't waste your time. This is how you confirm that you have a PCH or shorted PCH. It's shorted to 3.3 volt and at the same time both to ground. Normally on these two rails in which we have a value in terms of voltage, it means that it's not the value didn't come from the input to this to these rails. That value comes from the PCH. So the voltage comes from here, which means that it comes from the PCH to the rails, which in fact we should have the opposite. When the board is functioning, we should have the PCH which is powered by this rails, which means that this is the output which gives the power to our processor. So that's how we can confirm that the PCH is dead, is shorted, sorry, to 3.3 volt or to any other array. I hope it's clear, and yeah, we came to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye. See you in the next one. I hope it will be soon. Bye bye.